Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Wilson Waffling. This is Wilson Waffling Live episode 27, recorded on Sunday the 14th of December. Secret Santa and Outdoor Learning. Untitles.
Wilson Waffling.
So, hi there and welcome to this week's Wilson Waffling. Now, I hope everything worked there. I just can't get that transition from the introduction to the titles. I think I might just forget about it and just run the titles and then come in, and that would be absolutely fine. So, welcome to Wilson Waffling Live. And have you noticed anything different? Have you noticed anything different? Now, the more astute of you might be recognizing that I'm not actually streaming in 1080p anymore. I'm having to stream in 720, but I record in 1080, so the actual video input for YouTube will be 1080. But I don't know, something I've been on the live chat and on the phone to BT Infinity all week, and basically they're saying that your broadband is in acceptable speed range, and I just cannot buffer it enough the upload speed is not high enough for 1080. So unfortunately, a bit sad, but never mind. Anyway, on to more exciting things. Have you noticed anything different behind me? Do you see anything? Yeah, so remember last time we had this picture, but now I've got a different one. Hello, look, up there. I've got a giraffe peeking out. How cool is that? Now, that was actually meant to be stuck on, so you had to peel it off, but I actually cut it out and then I used blue tack to stick it on. And above me there, which you can't see, I think I might drop it down a bit, that's actually the attack on Hoth, which the AT-ATs, which is one of my favourite scenes in Star Wars, and there's a bit of a glare on it just there, but never mind, it will do. But you could see, I like that giraffe. So like, look, he's got his tongue stuck out just there. So yes, so that's it. So welcome to, those are my new additions to my wall. So welcome to Wilson Waffling Live. I've said that numerous times so far, but I apologise for that. So remember, you can, the chat on Ustream is up and working, so if you'd like to go over there and have a check, if you would like to have a look at that over there, then you're quite welcome to. You can find the link on wilsonwaffling.co.uk. Alternatively, you can follow along on Twitter, just here, and go along Twitter. So, what a wonderful week. Final week before Christmas for us at university. So a lot of the students finished on Friday. So the lectures finished on Friday, the sessions, but a lot of them have still got still around next week, and we actually work right up to the 23rd. So I'm around next week, and I've got one session teaching next week, but I'm going to do some university webpage work and things like that. So, but before we have a look at that, let's see what's been happening. So this is wilsonwaffling.co.uk. So remember, if you would like to go along and have a look, then by all means. This was last week's Wilson Waffling Live, just this. So what else has happened this week? Well, first things first, I've done another Wilson Waffling Does Apps, and this time it's an application called Plickers. And Plickers is designed... Hello and welcome to Wilson Waffling Does Apps. And this week we're going to be looking at an app called Plickers. There you go. And you can see it just down here at the bottom here, Plickers. So Plickers is really incredible. I really like it in the sense that what it does, and just see if I can get to the... there's a bit of a video bit here that I can get to, and then you can actually see it in action. So what happens here is that you can actually, the children hold up cards, and can you see there, as I sort of like move my camera or my iPhone around, it actually picks up what each of the answers the children are giving. So this would normally be done in a classroom. and it sort of like rates them. So I mean, it's a really good app. And you know, it's designed for a classroom that only has one iPad. Or I mean, I was actually using my phone, which I thought was really good. And then you can see that it sort of like tallies them all together. So it's free, yeah, but you have to download. You download from the website. You download these, and these sort of like you can see that says D and C and A and B, and how you turn it over relates to the answer. And up here you can see the number. So this is number 1, so you can actually relate the number to the child, so you know actually what they're doing. So if you would, that's called Plickers. So by all means, nip along to wilsonwaffling.co.uk, and you can see the thing here just above my head there. Wilson Waffling does apps. Now remember, you could also go straight along to my YouTube channel, and if you would like to keep up to date with everything on my YouTube channel, then by all means you could subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you subscribe to or go along to the YouTube channel, you will see that just I've lost my little wubble there we go. If you check just down here, look, you can see that here's Wilson Waffling does apps, and there's the 3. I keep changing the front cover, but I think I'm happy with the one I'm going to use now, so we'll see that come up. So they sort of like my favorite picture for the front. So 3 so far. So there's Telegami and Decide Now and Plickers all done. So if you'd like to keep an eye on those, then by all means go along and just press that subscribe button to my channel. Now, as well as Wilson Waffling does apps, the other thing that we've got this week is that I did Minecraft 5, which was my bread and mining. Now, here's my bread and mining video that I did for Minecraft, and I've actually bought my own server, so I've got my own server now, but I'm trying to get an economy set up on it, and I'm not too sure how to do it, so I'm still learning at the moment. But this was my look. I've got a bit of an intro this time, no music yet, but a bit of an intro. Here I am, Waffling Wilson in my purple outfit. So, and I'm very pleased. Look, I managed to get a farm going and make some wheat, and later on I actually managed to dig a mine. This is me digging my mine, so I really chuffed there. And I actually make some glass to go over the top, which was really nice. And then look at the bunny rabbit, and then this is my mine, and you sort of like go down this hole. But then what I've done is that I've covered it up like so. So if you're interested in Minecraft or want to see what I'm doing and what I'm keeping up with, then by all means pop along to wilsonwaffling.co.uk and you can keep up to date. But like I said, remember that's also on my YouTube channel. Now, the other thing that I do broadcast that live on Twitch TV, Waffling Wilson. So if you'd like to watch it live, then by all means go along and have a look at that. The other thing that I will say about that, the sound this week's a bit boring, and I've decided that what I need to do is that whenever I'm playing Minecraft, and I need to think about something to talk about. So as I'm playing and talking, and not just going I'm actually talking about something and actually engaging more with you. So if you watched me before and been thoroughly bored, then you know, keep with it, and you'll be able to come back and see what I talk about. So I'm going to try that to see whether or not it's any better. Now, back on to this week in Wilson Waffling, and we have here final Christmas week. And the intro, I wasn't meant to do that. Let me just do it this way. This is my final Christmas week, and like I said, the students finished, so it's done for the week now, and so these are my activities. And throughout the week what I try to do is wear different outfits. So this is my Tinsley tie. You can just see it there. You might have to actually go to the site to have a look at it properly. This is my Tinsley tie, and this was me being Secret Santa, actually getting into the box. So I wore a Tinsley tie on Monday. On Tuesday, I actually wore a tie that played music, and it actually played music. These are some of my students doing mathematics activity to do with maths. This was all based on Ratatouille. And so they were measuring and weighing and things like that. And you can see them again and working out problems, very engaging, lovely hats. This was something that they made in English using the instructions, and it was awarded to me, had a chain, and this was really nice, and I had it up in my office there. You can see it there. This was a Snapchat that got taken during the Ratatouille thing, and I didn't realise that the coolest lecturer was going on it, but that was very nice to see. And this was one group that these were quite incredible actually. These were white balloons that were filled up with sand and different things, so they all weigh different, but they'd covered them in cotton wool to make snowballs. And what the students had to do was order them in weight, which was a fantastic idea. I really enjoyed that. Oh yes, this is me in my, this was Wednesday. Wednesday I wore my Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer hat for that outfit. Thursday, that's me, a close-up of the hat. Thursday, I don't know whether or not I got a picture of it, but I actually dressed up as Santa and had a hat with a beard. And this was, of course, this was Friday. This was Save the Children Dave with the Christmas jumper there. So this was my Christmas jumper on Friday. And I think that's it. Oh, this is weighing presents and ordering presents and estimating weight. And this was actually making sweets and things like that for my Christmas, which was clever wordplay. So, and there I am. There's Santa Claus. That was on Wednesday. So I thought I looked very special there in my knitted beard. So that was the sort of like the final week. So now the students are sort of like gone. That's it. They've all sort of like gone home, or they're out busy working. And so there's not much. Next week's going to be quite quiet without them. So I hope they all have a nice Christmas, and I'll see them after summer. So, but I will do Wilson Waffling next Sunday, and then probably have a break for Christmas and then be back. Now, the final thing is that we need to look at this week in Wilson Waffling. So let's see if I can get this to work. Oh, nearly. And I'm back. Am I back? Yes, I'm back. So this was this week in Wilson Waffling. And this week in Wilson Waffling, I was a bit concerned because I thought I might be a bit controversial with this. And it wasn't meant to be controversial, and hopefully nobody's taken it controversial. But I've been talking, I've been listening and talking a lot to people, and I'm a very techie person and a very geeky person, and I love my technology. And to me, I just love actually being engaged with technology and embracing it and working with it. And I could spend all day, literally all day, working with technology and feel very happy with it. And sometimes I get a bit, not annoyed, it's more sort of like disappointed that people are always telling me to go for a walk or something like that. And I do walk. I walk every day to work, and I go to the gym, and I walk places, and I go shopping. But, you know, in my spare time, I like to work with technology. And I read over this week, a couple of articles about being out in the woods and parents packing your children off into the wilderness. And it really got me thinking about, is working outdoors and technology really opposed to each other? Is it really sort of like, is there really a dichotomy against them, or is it really diagnostically opposed? Is it like working antagonistically against each other? Or are there two things that can actually work together? And in this waffle, the first thing I really clarify, and I do really clarify this, is that I love learning outside the classroom. There is no doubt about it in my mind. I like the idea of it. I contribute to it. I feel it allows children to link to real life situations, and I think it's all extremely positive, and I just need to get that out there first before I say anything else. But what I sometimes don't understand is, can they link together? And in this second part, although I am not an outside person, okay, if given the choice, I would much prefer to be inside. Now, don't get me wrong, I really enjoy walking in the rain, okay? You might find that not dancing in the rain, none of that. I like walking in the rain, you know, and I like walking to work, and I love it when it's all sort of like wintry and raining or snowing, and I love that. And there's some scenery that I've seen that has been truly fantastic. But given the choice, I much prefer to be in a coffee shop. Any coffee shop I do, as long as I can sit there, it's got Wi-Fi, I've got my laptop, got my iPad or something, and I can just chill and relax. That is my way of relaxing. That's what I really like, and that's my hobby. That's what I like to do. And to me, you know, when I was little, if people made me go outside, I hated it. And I would become moody, and I'd become disengaged, and I wouldn't actually end up doing anything. Now, when I'm teaching, I change that slightly, and I really put it on in a positive way, and I really promote working outside the classroom. And if it's a bit like, I don't like teaching, I don't like art, and I'm not very good at it. But when I'm teaching art, I'm enthusiastic, I'm engaging, because I realise that some children, to them, that is the most exciting lesson of the week, and I wouldn't want to cancel it or not be enthusiastic about it. Now, the same is about learning outside the classroom. So if I had to go on a forest walk in reception, then I'm not going to say, oh no, here we go. I'm going to be out there, I'm going to be leading the way. When I do science, primary science, and we go to the nature area, I'm lifting up logs, I'm getting the wood lice out, everything like that. So I do really believe that we should provide opportunities, and these opportunities are really important. And I think, yes, we should be going outside, yes, we should be working inside, and yes, we should have a mixture of it all, and it should all come together to form what is learning. So we should have outdoor learning, inside learning, everything together. And in there, as well as outdoor, indoors, whatever, is technology. And technology needs to be in there as well. And I'm not saying we should do everything with technology, or we shouldn't do everything with technology. It should be in there, and it should be one of these opportunities. And one thing I really sort of like mentioning this blog post is the fact that if we're learning outside, or if we're going on an autumn walk or doing things like that, do we need to leave technology at home? And to me, if somebody said to me, right, I would like you to leave all your technology at home, then I would be pretty mopey, I think, because I enjoy it. It's, yes, you might say, oh, Mr. Waffle, you're dependent on it. Yeah, I probably am, but I was also dependent on my Filofax when I had one of those, or my hardback Canon diary that I used to use at school. And if I lost that, I lost all my phone numbers, what I was doing, and everything. And it's just like I'm more dependent on technology because I use it more. You know, I don't have a calendar. Everything's on my phone or on my computer and synced and backed up. So yeah, I am more dependent on it, but that's because of how I've progressed with it and how I use it. And if somebody said to me, let's go outside with no technology, then I wouldn't be going, whoopoo! I would be so disappointed, because technology is important to me, but I also use it. And, you know, things like I mentioned here about geocaching. You know, geocaching is one of these up and coming things. I mean, I don't actually do it, but people do. GPS is really important. And also, I mean, I love the idea that I could record what I see outside, either visually or via video or by just talking about it, and it's on my phone. Not only to record that experience, but also to remember it and go back to it, and also to share it, and to sort of like share it across the internet. I also think it's really nice to be out somewhere and actually be able to get in touch with somebody and say, you won't believe where I am, this is where I am. Or when you've just climbed something, to turn around and say, you won't believe what I've just done. And I think technology shouldn't be something that's seen as something that doesn't link with the natural environment. I think it does. and I think it allows us to share it and develop it. And I put here that, I used to sit with a tatty old book trying to identify bugs. And I wish I had my phone, my iPad to access the internet and to gain that information so quickly. Now, you might just sort of like saying to yourself, this is another waffle, this is Mr. Waffle going off on a tangent, just talking about rubbish. But it's been nagging me for a while, and I just wanted to get it out there. And I just want to make it completely clear that I really enjoy learning outside the classroom, and I really enjoy technology, and I think there's a space for them both. And I think they can work together, and they can work in harmony. And it shouldn't be a case that we cut either of them off, and we should promote equal enjoyment of them both. So that was a bit of a waffle. I don't know whether or not people are now thinking, oh, what was that all about, or whether or not people understand where I'm coming from with that or not. I don't know. Anyway, if you understand it, by all means, engage with it, have a think about it, but I hope it didn't come across too controversial. Now, while we're on here, I would just like to give a shout out to somebody, and you might say, oh, this is not fair. I'm going to give a shout out, because we're talking about learning outside the curriculum. My sister, who's a forest school expert, has her own site, and I actually linked to it on my site, but you might not have seen it before. So let me just show you where it is. So here's my site, and this is on the Waffling page, and just underneath my Twitter feed, can you see here? It says Woodland Sprites, and this is her page, and I helped her create it, so it looks very similar to mine, but that's absolutely fine. And you can see here that she's forest schools to outdoor education and everything in between. So if you're really interested about this outdoor education, then by all means pop along. It's Woodland Sprites, all one word, .co.uk to get you there. And you can see here that this was Home Sweet Gnome, the Wisdom of Trees. So you can see what this is all the work that she does with the children out on forest schools. So by all means go along, get some ideas. And also this was her recent post, Christmas Cookout. Okay, so I think it talks about cooking and marshmallows and things like that. So by all means, if you're interested in that sort of thing, pop along to her site, woodlandsprites.co.uk. Now then, next, let's have a look at my wonderful, exciting Ask Wilson Waffling, or Wilson Waffling Answers. Here we go.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is...
Ask Waffling Wilson.
Please note, the new number is...
Ask Waffling Wilson.
Hello?
So here we go. So let me get the iPhone. So let me make sure everything's recording fine. Yeah, you should be able to hear me still. Right. So here's the iPhone. Let me find the app. Let's see. Now I never look at this from day to day, so I have no idea what I'm going to find. I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Ask FM. So remember, if you would like to ask me any questions, then it goes to this here. Okay, so you can ask me that. So let's see what we've got. Oh, hang on. Let me just refresh in a vain hope. I know there's no new questions today. So obviously everybody's busy because there's assignments to be in and everything like that. But nobody's asked me a question. But luckily there is a question of the day, which means I am going to answer that for you. So the question of the day is, what do you like to cook? Now, I'm not a great cooker. Can I say it? That sound like I was a stove or something, but I'm not very good at cooking, and I live my life with cheese on toast. Cheese on toast is just lovely, and it's quick, it's easy, and I love it. But what do I like cooking? I do like stir fries. Stir fries are really nice, and I like things like soup's really nice as well if I make my own soup. And I saw a lovely recipe for butternut squash and lime soup, which I'm going to have a go at next week. But don't worry, this is not turning into a cooking show, unless you want me to, but I wouldn't advise it. Okay, but things like that. So I think I like to cook things that are very simple and quick and could be done in less than 15 minutes. I'm not very good at putting things in the oven, because I tend to put them in the oven and then just forget about them, and then that's it. So cheap, quick and easy, that's what I like to cook. So that's that. If you do wish to ask me any questions, then please go away along to ask.fm/Waffling Wilson and ask. Now remember, this week, if you're around this week, I will be streaming Minecraft on Twitch TV, Waffling Wilson, so by all means keep a eye on the Twitter to see when I actually go and stream that. And of course I will be doing Wilson Waffling Does Apps later on, so if you'd like to have a look at that, then that would be fantastic. Now one last thing before I go, something happened this week that was very humbling, and it was in the last session, and when the video comes out I'll actually I'll link to it so you can see it. But the students actually nominated me for an award this week, and the student unions do something called a Yenguin, I think it's called, award, and they nominated me, and I had a certificate given to me in the lecture. Now the first thing I would say is that you might think I can waffle and talk for England, but in situations like that I become very nervous and embarrassed and really sort of like I don't know what to say. It was very humbling and really sort of like, I love my job and I love teaching, and the biggest reward I can get and the biggest amount of praise I can get is when students or learners turn around to me and say that was brilliant, or do something like this, and it gets me so sort of like almost like emotional, but I just get speechless. And when they turned the camera on me and said, in times like this, Ian, we'd like to give you the opportunity to say something. And they turned it and say, what do you want to say? And I just sort of like thought, thank you. And that's all I say. So now that I've sort of like calmed down from it, I would just like to say, it's to be a good teacher, you need good learners. Okay. And I think whenever you're teaching, you bounce off, you spark off the learners, and if learners are enthusiastic and engaging and want to know more, then you as a facilitator of that learning become more passionate and more enthusiastic. And I do love my job and I love facilitating learning, but I think one of the reasons I'm probably very enthusiastic about it is because I am actually teaching a whole load of brilliant learners. And so if you are one of my learners, I would like to say thank you to you, not only because you nominated me for that award, but also because without you guys, then I probably wouldn't be as enthusiastic or as involved, as encouraging and engaging as I am. So thank you very much for award and nominating me and the award, but thank you also for being fantastic learners. Thanks a lot. So, and on that emotional bit, I would like to say goodbye for today. And next week I'll probably do Wilson Waffling Live for the final time before Christmas, and then I'll probably have a week off and then come back after Christmas. So if you would like to ask me any questions, then by all means go along to ask.fm/Waffling Wilson. But if you want to keep up to date with my Twitter feed, everything comes along on Twitter, and then that's my Twitter feed at iWilsonYSJ. Go along to there. And finally, if you want to keep up to date with absolutely everything, then go along to wilsonwaffling.co.uk and you can keep up to date. You can see all the videos there. You can link to my Facebook page, my Instagram, my Tumblr, absolutely everything. So hope you've enjoyed this week's show. It's been fantastic talking to you, and I will catch you all next week for the last time before Christmas. And I'm talking like this because I just have to queue up the titles for the end. So, have fun, guys, and I'll catch you all later. See ya. Bye.